It's time for an installment of Mini Masterpieces, where we learn about famous artists throughout history and make finger paintings inspired by their most famous works. Who's ready to learn about art history? Woo! Let's go! Okay, now this is to prep the canvas. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna use hot glue. You can of course also just use a pencil or chalk or something like that. We're going to draw out the main design. If you're old enough to draw things yourself and you think you can handle it, then you can do that yourself, but this is the part where grown-ups would do it. If it's you know, a toddler, maybe like under 5, I would suggest a grown-up helping out with this part. So for this one, we're making Starry Night. Now, I know it's a landscape, but we're gonna turn it on vertical for this part so that it's easier for you to understand. Okay, now not right in the middle, a little bit towards the right, so that way it's at the top more of the painting. We're going a little bit to the right from the center, and you're gonna make the letter S really stretched out. Doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to make sure it's like really stretched out. See that? And you're going about halfway, maybe a little bit further than halfway is fine. Then you're going to start on the inside of here and make another letter S, but this one's going to be a little bit more on the curvy side rather than stretched out. This one's going to be a little bit more of a normal S. Okay, now we're going to turn it back to the correct way, and if you see, this is going to be where all those nice swirls are at in that famous iconic painting, right? Now up in the right here, there's a little moon, so we're going to make the letter C, just a little letter C, that's it, nice and simple. Got a little crescent moon happening in there. Now to make it into a moon rather than the letter C, you're going to make another line that connects it that's just a little bit in, just a little bit further. There we go. And there's also going to be a few stars here and there. So you can go ahead and make a couple little circles or dots in different places. Wherever you feel. We don't have to be exact. We're not making an exact replica here, right? There's different kinds of stars. Now we're going to make the landscape where what we call the horizon line in art, right? Where the land meets the sky. Now this one is not very straight. He has these rolling hills. So what you're going to do is you're going to sort of make a parenthesis on its side, or sort of like, you know, a sad face shape. Right? You want to make sure that you're below all your nice swirls here, right? Then you're going to go ahead and not right at the edge there, go up a little bit more, and make another one. And another one. Maybe one more on this side over here. And we want to leave some space here because that's where our big tree is going to be at. Right, so now we have it laid out. This is going to help. The reason that we draw it out is so that the kids kind of have an idea of the composition and layout. It makes it easier for you to visually see where your lines are going to go. And if you're having an especially younger kid, like I'm going to be having a 2- and a 4-year-old be painting these, it helps for them to keep along the lines and fill in those spaces easier. Like they know, okay, I shouldn't go past those lines for the land here, and I don't want to go past them for the sky here. So that way it separates it. It's like a little wall. Makes it easier for them to not go outside of the lines. So let's go ahead and get started on it. Okay, so today we're going to be making one of the most famous paintings of all time by the artist named Vincent Van Gogh. Have you ever heard of him before? Do you know what his famous painting is?
Starry Night.
Yes, Starry Night. So then you do know who he is.
Well, I don't know what does he look like.
Oh, he has red hair. Do you want to see a picture of him?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, are you ready to finger paint?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start out by using the color yellow. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna take the yellow and we're gonna do the moon. Right, where we have our moon over that letter C up at the top there. And then also on all the little dots we made for stars. Everywhere you have a little star, go ahead and make that yellow. Nice job. Now we're not going to wash our finger off. We're going to go into the white without washing. I'm going to grab some white. And along the outside, we're going to make small little dashes. So it's like we're making a circle around the outside, but with lots of little dots. Little dashes around.
Did he do it?
Yeah, you did really great. Now do it on all the other stars, okay? Make those little dashes. Make sure you have plenty of white. Grab lots of white paint. White each time. For every little star. Maybe even twice with a star, depending on how big it is. Now we're going to take a little bit more white. And on those S shapes that we have, all those swirly parts, those are the clouds in the sky. So we're going to go ahead with that white. And we want to do that same dash technique. We're just making lots of little marks. So instead of tracing it regular, you're making lots of dashes. Make sure you have lots of paint on your fingers. You want to be able to see how thick the paint is. Get lots of paint on. So now that we have the white and the yellow, we're going to go ahead with our nice clean finger with the blue, and we're going to cover everywhere else. Everywhere except where we already painted. So everywhere else around, and you want to still keep with those same dash technique. And we want to just fill it in everywhere. So we're just going to keep filling it in everywhere, just trying to keep with those same dashes. And make sure you keep grabbing blue paint. We want lots and lots of paint. A lot of paint. We're going everywhere except where we already painted. Everywhere. Going around everywhere except for where we already painted. And you want to keep making just those little dashes everywhere. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, are you ready for the next part?
Yeah.
Now that we've got it all blue?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is there's a teeny tiny bit of red that we need to make. It's actually not even red, it's orange. So do you know how to make orange?
Yellow and red.
Yes, very good. So we're going to take a little bit of red and mix it with some yellow over here. Just make a little bit of orange. All right. And very, very carefully, we're going to go back to that little moon that we have there and make the letter C. That's it. So you're just tracing the moon right there. Beautiful. Very nice. You can also make a couple little stars orange if you want. I wouldn't do too many, just maybe like one or two of them.
1, 2.
There you go. Very nice. Ways to do the next part. We can try and make it look more accurate, or we can make it a really nice keepsake, which I love to do. And since we're finger painting, it's extra fun. So we're going to actually, instead of making the tree shape, which is kind of a little bit of like a swirly thing here, it's supposed to be a cypress tree. But instead, we're going to use our hand, because our hand is almost the same kind of shape as the way that Van Gogh has it in his painting. And then it's a keepsake of the size of your hand for when you made it. Yeah, so we're going to cover our hand in the black. Go ahead and stick your hand all up in that black. Get it all over your whole hand. And you want to make sure you're putting in the right spot. So for me, we're looking at it, it's going to go right over here. Okay? And for you, yours is going to be on over here because we have them backwards from each other. So right around here, you're gonna put your handprint, okay?
Here?
Yeah, keep your fingers together. All right, lift it up. All right, very nice. I think that the handprint is super cute and really great keepsake, but if you do want to make it more realistic and accurate to what the real painting Starry Night looks like, it has a point at the top that kind of curves off. So you want to make a curved line, like a triangle that has a curve, and then kind of pull it down, and then it's got a couple little parts that come off of it. The same, you want to keep it like swirly. He made it's a very whimsical tree. There you go. Okay, now that we have the tree in the front, we're going to go ahead and do the last little things that we have left. And that is, do you remember those hills that we had?
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to go back and we're going to trace those hills that we put in there. 1, 2, 3. And then down underneath it, we're going to make little tiny houses. Houses are pretty simple. We make sort of like if you were going to make a triangle, right? 1, 2, but instead of making the line at the bottom, you make it into a square. 1, 2, 3. So it's like a square and a triangle together. Just make a bunch of little ones. Very nice. Vincent Van Gogh created a whole new style of art called post-impressionism.
Whoa!
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah!
And now we've created one of his most famous pieces of all time and one of the most famous artwork in the whole world, in all of art history. So do you know who Vincent Van Gogh is now?
He made Starry Night.
Yeah, very good.
Thanks for painting with us and subscribe to the Hot Glue Guys.
Wow, look at that beautiful Starry Night painting.